Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Nature's Unleashed podcast. I am your host, Leslie Cordial, and in this podcast series that is made by FrieslandCampina, we are talking about and looking at leadership across our organization. We are looking at and introducing the people that help our organization to grow and to flourish. But this is a new series, and so we're going to be taking a different perspective on leadership. So I am here in Karachi in Pakistan. I'm very happy to welcome the managing director of the local operating company, but also two of the young leaders from across the organization. So Kiran and Abbas, welcome. It is great to have you with us today. Now, this is the second part of the kickoff of this new series. And this time we are going to be talking about what it means to do business in Pakistan, which I can imagine is going to be really fascinating for people. What is similar? What is different? So I'm going to start with Abbas. You get the opening question. What is it like to do business in Pakistan and to do business in FrieslandCampina in Pakistan?
Yeah, so I think Pakistan for me is a land of opportunity. You know, it really is, far from its potential right now. It's still growing. It's an emerging market, and one of the key aspects of working in Pakistan is, its people. Because the people are really vibrant. They are very passionate about everything that we do. Be it our food, especially our food. So, nutritionist food is something which I really believe that it's going to be huge. As the income levels go up, as the awareness of health goes up, that is when companies like FrieslandCampina, which are built on the purpose of nourishing people, will really make a huge impact and really cash in on this great opportunity. So, yeah, I think Pakistan as a business environment is going to be much more conducive going forward. The macroeconomics hopefully would be supporting that as well. And at the same time, the thing which really helps it stand out is its people. And we have also seen in FrieslandCampina that, people from Pakistan, be it Amersfoort in the head office or the BG, Myapa, we have seen Pakistanis doing and excelling really, really well. So, yeah, I think that it's a really, really interesting and hopefully a very lucrative opportunity for people to work in Pakistan.
Well, as a visitor to your country, I can fully endorse that. I recognize the passion, the expertise when it comes to the company, but for the category itself, for being hardworking. And it's certainly been an absolute pleasure for me to be here. But Kiran, if I can come to you, because FrieslandCampina, it's a global organization, but there's a lot of heritage local roots here in Pakistan. And you've also got some amazing brands. As a young leader in marketing, perhaps you'd like to share your thoughts around the brands of the organization and what it means to work on those.
So I started off my journey on Umor, which is a frozen dessert brand. And it is something that is unique to Pakistan because it does not exist anywhere else in FrieslandCampina world. So we are primarily a dairy company, and this frozen dessert brand only exists in Pakistan. And the challenge was unique in a way that a cold chain product has inherent complexities that are there. But the best part is that, when you have a local heritage brand, there's a lot of autonomy that comes with it. So, Umor became a playground for us to experiment, to move faster, to learn different things very quickly in a lean setup. And, with all the exposure that we had, the knowledge, the global knowledge that we had at our disposal, from different people, from different categories and industries, we were able to approach this challenge in a very different way. So, Umor here is a challenger brand and competes against a global category giant. But today, we are able to make our mark. And as we speak, Umor is not only rapidly growing, but is there on the FrieslandCampina global map as one of the most attractive brands in the region right now.
Well, that sounds like a marketeer's dream.
Yeah.
To be able to have that expertise at your fingertips, but the autonomy to go and try different things. I'm going to come back to you and say maybe what were some of those in a moment, but I want to go to Kashan. So as the managing director of this amazing operating company, looking at nourishing by nature as the vision, the mission of Friesland-Campina, how proud do you feel? And what does it mean to do business for you in this organization?
I think immensely proud, but also feel a sense of great responsibility, because responsibility to our people, responsibility to the women and men of FrieslandCampina Engro, responsibility to the wider community, to the farmers that we work with here, and then of course for the nourishment of every Pakistani. I think there's a huge task ahead of us in terms of making people understand the importance of nutrition, of safe, hygienic, quality milk, which in itself is complete nutrition, and it's a need for Pakistanis, right? So I think, and now we are approaching towards being, the largest dairy company in Pakistan. Within the packaged dairy, segment, UHT is by far the largest, and we have a 60 share in there. So we are, yes, we're big, we have big volumes, but that brings a lot of responsibility on us as well. I think, it's great because I think we can drive our business through the right purpose, and excite our people, with that purpose. I think that to me that in a way makes it easier, because I meet a lot of people, or we're interviewing them to come and join us. We have a great story to tell. And I think it's important that we're telling this story to people. Today people ask for a purpose. They ask for a reason of why are we here? Why do I come to? How do I make a difference? Why do I come to work every day? If I was in another organization standing in a town hall, and one of the ladies from the finance department, a younger lady, maybe in her late 20s, just stood up and said, there were about 200 people in the room, said, if we shut down this company and everybody goes home, what happens? You'll find another job, I'll find another job, we'll be okay, right? So why are we here, right? And I wasn't expecting a question like this, and it took me about 30 seconds to think of what to say, and everybody's watching many nervously, including her boss and her boss's boss, what is happening here. And I said, if we shut down, there are people who buy, our products for blood thinning, which keeps their heart running better. There are pregnant women who swear by our product because it deals with heartburn and reflux. So those products won't be in the market anymore. So it's about understanding what is our role. And there was a great question, because many people are thinking this lady was brave enough to ask the question, why am I here? If I do something else, what changes? I think we have real purpose and a real need for this country, for its people, for us to be here. So it's a big responsibility. And
I'm really impressed you came up with that answer in 30 seconds, though. I mean, it is a quite confrontational one, isn't it? But as you say, if we don't come to work, this is what disappears from the market. But it's a very competitive market. So Abbas, if I can come back to you, I mean, I think Pakistan is known for being a very competitive market. So how do you think, or where do you think Friesland-Campina excels and is able to make such progress?
So I think Friesland, at Friesland we do a lot of, obviously, we do a lot of things right. And one thing which really helps us stands out in the market is our execution. So from someone in sales, I know like we take a lot of how much importance do we give it, to how we look in the shelves. How do we reach to as many households as possible through our, we have the largest distribution network in Pakistan, and that is something which we take a lot of pride in. And I think that for me gives us that competitive edge. Apart from having the strongest brands, obviously, it is actually the sales team and the distribution network that we have compared to some of the other players in the market, which really sets us apart. And you can find a box, a pack of all-purs. Yeah, if you move from, you're sitting in Karachi, if you go all the way up north, I'm pretty sure that you will find it all red. If you go up north, and that is, I think, an area where we take a lot of pride in, and that sets us apart. And obviously, all of it happens, after great collaboration of all the teams, from supply chain to marketing, obviously, with great brands, and finance, giving us the money to do all of this, and obviously the field sales team, which is the front line for any organization and one of the most critical part of any organization's success. So I think in Pakistan, that these are some of the core components why we really stand out.
And that's wonderful. We've heard it partly from the sales, partly from marketing. You touched on the amazing brands, but Kiran, I'd love to hear as well your perspective on where do you take the brands now? Because you do have very well-known brands here with amazing heritage. What is the future business for marketing in FrieslandCampina?
I think there are two parts to this answer. The first one is that, there are certain things that are a reality in Pakistan. And, consumers, businesses, everybody has accepted it. So, for instance, inflation is no new news now. It's like it's almost a backdrop. But the way we observe our consumers is that they're very agile. Like, they're very quick to adapt in a way that they're making choices that not only helps them stay afloat, but also thrive. So, that is the best part about it. And what it means for FrieslandCampina is that we are quick to respond to their needs. So, innovate faster, come up with packs or, products that are relevant in the changing circumstances. And I think the second thing is that when you have that global context where, the consumers are aware of what's happening around the world, and we have that, we have that knowledge at our disposal. So I think the second thing where I see it going is that this market is ready and hungry for such innovations to come to Pakistan. So, the consumers are already ready for it. We have the knowledge, the expertise in FrieslandCampina, and we have to ensure that we bring those solutions for our consumers here in a way that speaks to them and their lifestyles.
I want to kind of link that back to what you were saying earlier about, the freedom to experiment.
Yeah.
Can you maybe share some of the things you've been, no secrets, we can't reveal any secrets, but anything that you might be able to tell us about what you've been experimenting with?
So, I said that about Umor, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that when you talk about frozen dessert category, I think there are very few people who wouldn't want a frozen dessert or an ice cream at the end of the day. So the thing is that with this brand, you have to get the right product. So, what is the combination going to look like? The flavor combination. Is it going to be there at the right time, at the right place, and at the right price point? So the thing is that in my career, I've experimented and, tasted, say, 75 different flavor combinations in like a week.
Oh, wow.
But being able to really zero in and understand that what the consumer is saying, where the growth opportunity is, and also understanding the longevity when it comes to innovations. So I think that really is there. And of course, I wouldn't say that all the products I came up with were successful or are there in the market right now. But I think that agility to put there, test it, take feedback from consumers, and improvise. So I think that is really important.
I'm impressed. 75 flavours in a week. There's somebody going, that's my dream job. I get to test 75 flavours of
Kashan
frozen
also
dessert.
says that to me.
So you have the best job in the world. It's fantastic. But Kashan, it is a challenging market, and there are unique traits to the Pakistan market. Perhaps you could share a little bit about what you see is so specific to the market and a bit about how FrieslandCampina is dealing with that.
Right. So you're right. It is a challenging market, and I think that what it does is it makes us more agile than you would be maybe in another part of the world where things are much more stable, where you can forecast what sales will be with a customer in June of next year. But here we don't know, how the flood situation would be over the next 2 weeks. So however, because all of us have worked in this environment, we're always working contingencies, and I think this is what makes us successful. And not just our business, but I think every business here understands and operates in a way where they've got to have a plan B and a plan C. And this is also why Pakistanis, when they go out of Pakistan, they do well professionally. We were just talking about examples of people who have done well within the FrieslandCampina world, whether it would be in Amersfoort or in Asia or in our own BG. I think the reason is that they are, we were saying resilient, but they're also ready for, they're thinking from every point of view. It's not necessarily a muscle that is exercised everywhere, where things are much more stable. So I think to me, that's what maybe gives us a bit of an advantage in terms of our ability to have a plan B and be thinking, here's a hurdle, how do I work around it, what do I do, and almost thinking that if this doesn't work, then what do you do? And I think what, of course, it means for Friesland is, again, from an environment point of view, whether it is public policy, whether it is government relations, whether it's regulations, there's a lot we can do, but a lot of resistance that we also face from various stakeholders in trying to understand what it is that we want to do, and how they can help support and build, based on our vision of a stronger, healthier Pakistan. So I think there's a lot to do. We are a large business, but we're a small part of what this country can offer. There are many unlocks for us. We have to make the right choices, know where we have a right to win, and focus on those areas and put our energy and our resources behind those things. But yeah, there is a lot to do. The size of the dairy category in Pakistan is the size of FrieslandCampina globally. So it's a 15 billion euro market. So that's the potential. And that, when I was saying aim high, first you think of that number and then no target looks big enough. It's just the plans behind those targets that have to be good enough. We can do anything.
And I think that actually leads us nicely into the next question, because we talk about flexibility, we talk about, in a way, the entrepreneurial attitude of being innovative, taking some risks, resilience. But clearly this is a huge market of opportunity. So Abbas, I'd like to come back to you and talk a little bit about how you see FrieslandCampina. Okay, we're going to zoom in our little time machine. We're 10 years from now. What do you think that FrieslandCampina is going to look like? What opportunities have we grabbed in this very large market that you have just articulated?
So I hope it becomes a 15 billion euro company.
That would be pretty amazing, wouldn't it?
The best part. But yeah, I think one thing which we really need to do in Pakistan as a country is also really, sort of adopting is technology. So I think digital transformation is something which really is happening at a fast pace, and the pace of adoption in Pakistan is also, when we see there's e-commerce, which was non-existent a few years back in Pakistan. Then there's fintech, and there's, a lot of AI-based solutions now in the market as well. So even sales as a function is changing. It's very data-driven now as compared to, it is obviously very people-driven too. But, that is one area which I think is going to be quite big, in 10 years. And the companies which really harness technology, they really will unlock massive growth going forward. So I think in 10 years' time, FrieslandCampina would be with all its, great aspirations and the brands and, the core, which is, nourishing lives of wherever we are. So that is going to really, excel the growth. And in 10 years' time, we are a market leader today, but we hope that Pakistan as a whole, really get the true essence of the true nutrition which it really deserves as a country. And Friesland will be at the forefront of that change.
That's an amazing ambition.
Yeah.
And Kiran, for you, I mean, I think the technology moves so fast.
Yeah.
And if I think of myself as a marketeer 20 years ago, what it means to be a marketeer now, it's night and day. So how do you experience, what do you think are the biggest opportunities in marketing? How much has the category changed?
I think in terms of the changes that are happening when it comes to technology and how people are perceiving or interacting, I think what Friesland needs to really do is that it has to be at the forefront of this dairy revolution. And because we have dairy expertise, we can actually leverage that expertise in different categories. So, because we are so clear about our purpose when it comes to nutrition-led brands, so, our purpose is so clear that we will be able to expand in those categories in the coming years. And we will do it better, and we would like to do it the best way, because we are a dairy-led company. And, because we believe that Pakistan, we can bring that nutrition to Pakistan. So I think what I really see happening in the future is that we are going to innovate more, and we are going to innovate to lead. So I think that is where I think my ambition is.
Your mission, but I think I just again hear that the energy about the opportunities that sit within this market, within this organization. So actually, I'd like to just wrap us up and come to you, Kashan, for maybe some last words. What do you love most about doing business in Pakistan?
Oh, that's easy. So before I answer that, in the last 20 years, I've spent about 10 of them outside Pakistan, lived in 4 or 5 different countries. I've come back to Pakistan 3 times. So what I love about working here is really the people, and it's not because the people here may necessarily be better than people anywhere else, but they're my people. So I feel like when I communicate, and it's not just the words you say, but it's the emotion behind it and the feeling behind it. I feel like I can communicate that much better, much more clearly when I do it in my local language and when I do it here. And the person is listening not to just the words, but also the context behind it, which isn't always easy to do when you're speaking in a language which is not native to you. The cultural side, I think also I love it because of the level of professionalism. I think many of us who have always worked here don't see how much better we are in terms of just making sure we get it right, we learn. We are that much more invested in our careers. They are so much more linked to our lives. And that drives, at the end of the day, I could be in any position, but I'm a small part of a much bigger wheel. And if you don't have the right people around you with the right level of professionalism, the right level of experience, you will never succeed. And when we like to think that it's all driven by a few people or no, it's everybody who's doing their bit, and big and small. And I think that's something which I feel I thoroughly enjoy being here. I like working here, and I think it's mostly driven by the people that I work with.
I think I'm going to move to Pakistan because that was really powerful. I love the way that you say, and I've come back 3 times. This is my home. This is my people. And that's as much about FrieslandCampina and working here and the power of the purpose of the organization. And I hear it in everything that you have all said. So it is a huge thanks to all of you, to Kashan, to Kiran, to Abbas. Thank you for sharing your passion, your purpose, your vision. And I think it paints a wonderful opportunity for FrieslandCampina and for Pakistan in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you.